So yeah, we're gonna watch some of this real quick.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part two.
All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out
if we're found guilty on all crimes, it's like 147 years in jail. This one just seemed like such a big injustice. You know, it's so simple. I gave you my Legos, you gave nothing back to me. I say it all the time that this isn't really about Legos. Legos is kind of just like the clickbait, you know what I mean? The real story is corporate greed, police corruption, Mormon mafia. Everything was done legally. We didn't break any laws in this documentary. We created a lottery in order to turn it from a civil offense to a criminal offense. But it's not really who's right wins, it's who has more money wins.
You created a company.
If you don't already know, if you don't already know this situation and what's going on, bros for the people. There's countless people reacting and doing stuff and talking about this, but I just think dude's a good guy. Like he was genuinely trying to fix a problem and change something.
Called "We Steal from Old People," and their tagline was "Bricks and Minifigs."
Yeah, that's our motto.
So now anytime someone looks them up, it says "We Steal from Old People."
They tried taking my YouTube money. They tried taking "We Steal from Old People" merch money, and they also tried taking the GoFundMe money. Bricks and Minifigs, 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 bricks and Minifigs. We steal from old people. Bricks and Minifigs. They should just give the Legos back. They shouldn't be able to keep it. They should give it back.
Dude, thanks for making the time.
Yeah, what up?
What up? Thanks for coming,
How's
man.
it going?
I'm good. This is the first official Channel 5 headquarters shoot right now.
Nice, yeah.
Just seeing behind the curtain where the editing operation takes place. So for somebody unfamiliar, what's going on with the lawsuit?
Oh my gosh. I don't really know. Right now I'm kind of just letting the lawyers handle it, but I guess this company stole a bunch of money from this old man, and we asked them nicely to give it back, and they didn't. So we basically just did a bunch of crazy, what I call legal loopholes to try to get it back. Everything was done legally. We didn't break any laws in this documentary. We just did legal loopholes to try and get it back. We created a lottery in order to give it out as a prize, to turn it from a civil offense to a criminal offense, stuff like that. We divided the debt between 10 of us to sue them for 10 times, taking the small claims court to get the process done faster, stuff like that. And they didn't like what we did, I guess. So they're suing us. Court document, it's 300 pages, our lawsuit is, and there's 15 crimes. I put it in ChatGPT and it says, if we're found guilty on all crimes, it's 147 years in jail, I think.
Collectively.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to get us more civilly though, not criminally. So I don't think I'll have to go to jail, but they want, I think, minimum $10 million per person is what they were saying. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I think they're trying to get us on extortion.
10 M's, bro? 10 M's, bro? Nah, bro. Nah. 10 M's is insane.
Commercial interference, defamation. I think there's 14 things they're gonna, that's just the first ones that come to my head. But yeah, it's 15 charges that they have against us. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Stalking. What are some other ones?
I'm being sued for stalking too.
Really? One of the things I'm getting charged for is also residential picketing. It's picketing outside someone's residence. So I put a little tiny sign. It was 2 feet long, and it was on a public property. So the HOA didn't own it. It was this little strip of land that's just owned by anyone in the public who pays taxes, So
Dog, they were trying to bury him. They were trying to bury him.
So I put it there, but they said because he could see it from his house, it's technically considered residential picketing because I'm outside his house making a statement about him, I guess, which was illegal.
Even though it's on separate property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could see it from his house.
And so the big they in this story is Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
All the people that are saying he used AI, bro.
It's like GameStop for
Yes, I get AI is taking people's jobs and doing things, but when you have to move as quickly as you have to in some of these things, and at the pace that they were having to do this production, dog, you got to give him a little credit. He was locked in, bro. He was super locked in, and the AI helped him achieve this. Two different sides of the coin.
Legos. They're not affiliated with Nintendo or any gaming company, but they just resell games that have already been used for a profit. So they just do the same thing with Legos. So if someone buys Legos from Lego, they use it. It's like a thrift store kind of, you know, you give them your old Legos and they resell it for a profit.
But it's very curated. So if you wanted to buy like a very specific Lego, they'd have like they monopolize like the brokerage of vintage Legos.
I'm not really too sure. I'm kind of just more into like the corruption part of it. I don't really know the business model too much, but maybe, I don't know.
Because Lego produces its sets in limited numbers, experts say some of the rarer sets can sell for thousands of dollars.
So this is from 2003. This is the Cloud City set, which is kind of the holy grail of Star Wars fans. There was about 3,500 of these made back in the day because people looked at it and said, $100 for a Lego toy? No way. But now it's, you know, pushing 10 grand because of the condition of the box and the collectible.
Dude, you can get a Charizard. I mean, it's crazy what people will spend on these collectible items. I mean, even myself, I have a couple things. I like looking at them, you know. But 10 G's for that thing now?
Of this.
So going back to the very beginning, so you came into contact with, was it a father and son?
Just the son.
Okay.
The whole thing was his dad was like really sick and any stress could make him more sick. So they didn't want to stress him out.
For those of you guys wondering what the heck is going on here, let me break a few things down. This is Mr. Benjamin Schneider, also known as Reckless Ben, a YouTube creator known for his investigative videos that expose organizations and businesses that he believes have acted in bad faith, infiltrating cults sometimes, and even Scientology itself. Recently, Ben was reached out to by Brian Mansell and his father Ed, because back in 2023, Brian had put what's described as an extraordinarily valuable collection of sealed Lego Star Wars sets and rare minifigurines, apparently worth around $200K, on.
Bro, I wouldn't even hand my mama $200K. Let alone in something that has to be busted down, broken down, sold to other people, put in multiple different hands. You know, that's a lot of moving parts. That's a lot of moving parts. Like you can't rely on every single person. Like there's gonna be some level of fuck. There's gonna be some level of mess up. Someone is gonna do something and you're not, bro. That's a lot of moving pieces.
Consignment with a company called Bricks and Minifigs. But in 2024, Bricks and Minifigs store ownership changes, and allegedly, they refused to honor the agreement and pay out the Mansells. Once the Mansells made Ben aware of the situation, he went to work and began posting his investigations on YouTube until the story blew up. The story quickly reached far beyond Ben's subscriber base, accumulating millions of views across YouTube and other platforms as other creators, news outlets, and Lego fans began covering the whole debacle. Since then, there's been a cascade of lawsuits, both civil and criminal, resulting in Ben's arrest. But there's still been no final resolution yet. But because I'm currently going through my own lawsuit, I thought it was a great time to talk to another creator going through one as well. All right, I think you're all caught up. Back to Ben.
So the son was the one dealing with this whole thing, and the whole thing was, let's keep this a secret from our dad because we don't want to make him like more sick with all this bad information.
And how did you come across this lead in the first place?
I just put at the end of my last video, just said, hey, if anyone has a problem that the police can't solve, hit me up. I made an email just for these emails and they can type in their like stories. And we were actually on our way to Burning Man and it started raining. And so it was like a 26-hour wait to get inside. So we're just waiting in our car for like 20 hours and we're just all five of us are just going through the emails. We're all logged in and just starring all the ones we thought were cool. And this one just seemed like such a big injustice.
Bricks and Minifigs knows that this family, especially with the father's health, doesn't have the resources to take them to court. And almost mockingly, they've since flooded all of their social media with tons of pictures of Star Wars Legos.
It's
dogging them, bro. Dogging.
So simple. I gave you my Legos, you gave nothing back to me. Like, that seems like stealing, you know? Like, so I was like, like, how can, and he's like, the business uses all these ways to justify it. But I'm like, at the end of the day, he gave them something and they didn't give him back what they were supposed to. So, like, it just seems like the easiest case ever. Like, I'll do this one, you know?
Yeah, so Bricks and Minifigs took custody of the collection.
Yeah.
And didn't pay him the money after selling some and keeping others.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be on consignment, which Bricks and Minifigs claim they don't do, which is part of the reason why they took it. But the way it's supposed to work is once a Lego gets sold, Brian gets paid, I think, 60 to 70%, and they get paid around 30 to 40%. I forget what the actual like detail was, but they keep a small percentage of each sale. Basically, the new.
So they're still gonna have to mark those Legos up to even make a profit on top of what they're getting them from those people. Like, it's doable, but like, again, too many moving parts.
New owners came in, they're like, we don't do consignments. We buy, sell, trade. That's their logo. They're like, because we don't do consignments, so we get to keep all the stuff, even though they didn't pay for it, which, like, if they don't do consignments, they should just give the Legos back. They shouldn't be able to keep it. They should give it back.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
Ultimately, that's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, and because taking on the business, he takes on all that outside that part.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 4.
Yeah, I just think it's awesome that you have this like natural desire to use your platform to kind of like shed a light on these, I guess, smaller interpersonal conflicts that like are kind of reflective of larger social problems, right? Like people being taken advantage of by business conglomerates.
Yeah, I say it all the time that this isn't really about Legos. Legos is kind of just like the clickbait, you know what I mean? Of like, it's kind of the backbone that holds this thing. It's like the subject matter, but the real story is corporate greed. Like, we have more power than you, and we know that we can do something wrong and we can get away with it. So we're going to, not because like we're not going to do the morally right thing. We're going to get away with it because we have power. And then this next couple of videos get into police corruption and maybe people helping each other of the same religion, even though they're not really like the good guys. Like, I'll help you out because like I look up to you in my church, you know? So it kind of gets more into that stuff. But yeah, Legos is just kind of the area this all takes place in, you know?
It's the tip of the iceberg. And as you travel down.
Oh, it's a great way to describe it. Yeah.
Thank you,
wow.
Yeah. I went to journalism school, so.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of the iceberg is what some have called the Mormon Mafia.
Yeah. Like police corruption, Mormon Mafia, like corporate greed.
And just so people know, you don't mean Mormon Mafia in like an organized crime, you know, Godfather sense. You mean just LDS members looking after each other on a high court level.
Obviously, like, something really bad happened and everyone has their own theories of like why this is happening. My theory is that Joshua Johnson, he's the owner of the store. That's kind of the main villain of this story. And he is what's known as the High Council. So I think it's like some high up, like Mormon thing.
He's been fired from Bricks and Minifigs. Is Josh getting fired from the Mormon church? Released from his High Council calling.
So if a police officer comes to his house and the police officer is also Mormon and he has two people to choose from, two people are telling me different stories. One of them's lying. One of them's telling the truth. Am I going to believe this YouTuber YouTubers kind of have a known reputation for exaggerating the truth to get clicks and stuff? Or the person I look up to in my church? Oh, I'm going to believe probably the person I look up to in my church. You know, it's not really like there's like an undercover deal going on and stuff and they're paying each other off. But I think it just comes down to that, you know, he looks more trustworthy. He's in a suit and tie and I'm kind of a goofball. Like I'm wearing this, like the CEO on my shirt. I just do goofy things. It doesn't mean I'm lying. It just means I'm goofy, you know, but the police officer takes like my goofiness as like I'm not credible when I'm making up stories and stuff.
And what's the main lie that man is telling?
Oh my gosh. It's like, I think it'd be easier to say like, what truths does he tell? Pretty much just almost everything that's come out of his mouth at this point, I think has been a lie. I don't think I've heard him tell.
That dude lied. I watched the whole thing. That dude lied for show.
The truth really at all. I think the main ones are, his main claim is right now is, we tried to give the Legos back to Brian, but Brian didn't want the Legos back.
We've been, working to try and work with Mr. Mansell for a good little while. We've asked for documentation, and every time we ask for that up to this point, we seem to kind of then lose the connection. But we continue to reach out to try and, get towards a resolution with the Mansell family on this matter.
So that's like a big one. And then another one he's running with is, the previous owner stole the Legos before they had, she sold all of them and then kept the money for herself.
Crystal Law was a former franchisee of Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
She took Mr. Mansell's Lego, sold it, didn't pay him, she has his money. We don't have the Lego. Crystal sold the Lego.
Like if there was anything that had been done that was untoward by the previous franchisee, if that individual had sold more than they let on and did not pay Mr. Mansell, we've offered to compensate him for the loss.
In 4K.
Of compensation that should have been given to him. So we've tried to make multiple offers, and hopefully we'll be able to get them to the table so we can discuss it.
which could be true. Like some of that actually could be true. So I think a lot of his lies are based in reality. So maybe the previous owner did actually sell some and didn't pay Brian, but at the same time, she also sent a bunch of like time-stamped pictures of a lot of the Legos in the store that they still had that they're claiming were never in the store.
Star Wars sets. Still in the process of getting them organized and priced, but they're here and it's a lot.
It could be, I don't know, it's hard to tell like how much is corporate, how much is the previous owner, but what we do know for sure is that the corporate, because of those timestamp pictures, corporate is responsible for at least those Legos that were still in the store at that point.
He promised us a full inventory right away. We've never received it.
Just absolutely nothing. So we've never gotten anything. We've never gotten an inventory list.
Yeah, the previous owner who got her entire store stolen from her by corporate, I mean, she's legally required to get sent an inventory list.
Yo, appreciate the subscribe.
And even she, 2 years later, has not gotten it yet.
And what is the current like state of the criminal case?
They say it could take up to like 2 years, maybe. It's in what they call pre-trial. So I show up to court and they're like, you know, you have the right to a lawyer, right? And I'm like, yep. And they're like, okay, we'll see you in 2 months. Or I show up and they're like, do you plan on representing yourself? And I'm like, I have a lawyer. And they're like, okay, see you in 2 months. And it's been like 30 seconds each time. It's so stupid.
And like this experience of being sued frivolously for no reason and just like enduring this lawfare, what's the main thing that you've learned?
The more I get sued, the more it helps my career, I guess. I don't know. So I welcome any more lawsuits. So any other companies that I take down in the future, feel free to sue me. I would much appreciate it. Don't learn the lesson from Bricks and Minifigs. Just keep suing me because it's really fun. What I found out is it's only going to get better from here because there's a thing called discovery. And there's also a thing called a deposition where we get to ask them any.
Everybody gangster till they hear those two words right there. Deposition and discovery. Everybody and their mom is gangster until they hear those two words.
Any question and they can't lie. So right now, like as you saw, I went to the corporate offices and I had this whole conversation with Ammon, and I think pretty much all of it was lies. And me and my friends would always joke about like how awesome would it be if we were both set up to lie detector tests and we had like an hour-long conversation. Like that would solve this whole thing, you know? Deposition is kind of like that, where if they lie, I think they go to jail, or it's like criminally, like they literally cannot lie in a deposition, and I get to ask them whatever I want. So hopefully it gets to that point where. Because then, like, my dream would come true where we're, like, both strapped to, like, the lie detectors, you know? Because the TRO kind of destroyed me. It sucks. I had, like, all these videos ready to post, you know? And then they hit me with the TRO.
So the TRO is what kept you from telling the story for a while?
Yeah. That's why I just kind of went silent. I was just like, hey, it's illegal for me to talk. That's why I kept referring to it as a mystery company. This mystery company that I'm no longer allowed to talk about. Because part of the TRO was I couldn't say anything about Bricks and Minifigs. But I could talk about a mystery company because then no one knows what I'm talking about. Even though they did know what I'm talking about, I didn't talk about them. So I just said, like, I'm not allowed to talk about this mystery company, and yeah.
All right, now I want to talk about something before we keep going, because it actually relates to this story quite well. So, as per Reckless Ben's coverage, the Mancells had nothing. They had a problem, a stack of paperwork, and no way through it. But then, out of nowhere, came Ben. 6.5 million people who watched his videos, a fundraiser, new lawyers, and
all right. We're going to put a pause on this.
And the entire...
We're going to come back. We are for sure. But, season 8.5 just came out. Go check it out.